chairman when Pat was elected. He was a great tight end from Sarasota, wonderful guy. I enjoyed. I didn't know him as a student. I knew, he was number 85, and so I think Pat's a good example of athletics being beneficial to someone, not only just getting a job, but growing. Pat got a good education, and it looks like it all turned out pretty well for Pat.
I'm paying for it today. I'm 50 years old. Both of my hips hurting, my knees hurt, my shoulder hurts, my feet hurt. And then I also got I got some traumatic brain issues going on here from, having some of those concussions.
Concussion. Temporary unconsciousness caused by a blow to the head. According to a study released at the American Academy of Neurology's 68th annual meeting, more than 40% of retired NFL players in 2016 had signs of traumatic brain injury. The players were an average age of 36, ranging from 27 to 56. Patrick Carter is a former Florida State University tight end who played for 5 NFL teams over the span of 10 years and also coached football at all 3 levels. He also falls in the percentage of former NFL players who suffer from traumatic brain injuries.
I go and they hook me up to this machine, and the best way I can say it is like it's a brain. It gives off brain waves, but it stimulates certain dead areas inside the brain. But it allows me to be calmer, more patient, and I can sleep better, because those were issues that I was dealing with prior to going to this place.
Dr. George Roselle is the executive director at MindSpot Integrative Wellness Center, where Pat Carter receives treatment.
Delivers both visible red and invisible near-infrared treatment. It penetrates through the skull down into the brain, and then we also have an intranasal applicator. So we just slide this into the nostril.
But this place has been a godsend for me, because it has helped me tremendously.
Treatment can be a godsend, but do the people who lay their body on the line for football ever regret the decision when they realize they have TBI?
I'd never say that, because football has allowed me the opportunity to obtain an education, travel the world, make a lot of money, make some really great friends, and things I never could have possibly done in any other endeavor. So I would not condemn what I did. I'd do it again.
Ben Doherty, a former quarterback for the Tallahassee Titans, the Jacksonville Jaguars, and Florida A&M University, agreed that friends and camaraderie make football worth it, referring to it as the brotherhood.
What is the brotherhood? What is that?
Well, I mean, just a locker room full of guys like coming together and just having each other's backs. You don't have to adjust the camera at all. I am a white guy, and I did go to FAM, so it was a little different when I walked into that locker room the first time. But from day one, nobody saw me for the color of my skin. It was really, can you play ball or can you not play ball? And I think that's the way it should be, not only in sports but in life as well. The best person gets the job. And that's really how the guys saw me, and that really meant a lot to me.
Packed out stadiums and screaming fans. It all has to end one day. The average person doesn't make it to the NFL, and the people who do, the career is usually cut short. Too short for some who aren't ready to be fired.
And with sports, it's a little different. You have your dream usually up to where you're like 30. Tom Brady is a huge exception. He's pushing 40 and still playing the game at a very high level. But, the average somebody stays in the NFL is actually 3.5 years. That's not long at all. 3 years and you're done. When you get called into the office and they tell you, we don't want your services anymore, thank you very much. It's a tough thing, because, they call it in sports getting cut, but really it's getting fired. I mean, when anybody else in the real world gets called into their boss's office and they get let go, it's getting fired. So, that's happened to me a few times, and it's never an easy thing to get cut or get fired, but, there's a reason behind everything.
10 years. I mean, I probably would have had that feeling had I only played maybe 3 or 4 years. Then, you know, that would have left a big void, but the tank was almost empty.
There's a lot of different factors, I think, that come into play. I think, you know, a lot of it is guys get let go because of their age, but also, you know, contract space. After the league minimum in the NFL is like around $240,000, but after your 4th year, the team has to pay you. The league minimum goes up to $750,000 a year, so it really makes financial sense for the teams to get rid of the older guys and plug the younger guys in there. And those contracts are funny, you know. The contract can look really nice, but as soon as you get let go, you don't get another penny of that contract. So.
Basketball player too? What other thing do you want to be besides that? So, football player or basketball player? As a child, it seems so simple, but research shows it's not. According to the NCAA, there are more than 1 million high school athletes. 6.5% of high school football players will become an NCAA football player, meaning they will play in college. And 1.5% of that group will make it to the NFL. Out of the average 34,000 men's and women's collegiate athletes, 2% become professional athletes. The truth is, everyone won't be a Pat Carter or a Ben Doherty. Everyone that pads up won't have a big house, a nice car, or even a degree. Because most people don't want to kill childhood dreams, no one wants to tell these future basketball and football players the truth. Education is key, and athletics should probably move to Plan B, while obtaining an education should be Plan A. You
know, you're in school, why not go to school? If it happens, great, but I think it's always a smart thing to have a Plan B and Plan C, and you know, you just never know what's going to happen. If your Plan A works and you make it to the league, you know, great, that's good for you, but if you don't make it, you know, you might as well go to class and have that plan and find something that you enjoy doing, because even if you do make it to the league, you know, the statistics aren't in your favor to stay there a real long time. So you're
never stop dreaming. If that's your dream, continue to dream. But you must prepare in case there's an obstacle that prevents you from reaching that goal. Got to get your education. First and foremost, I always tell young kids, when a college recruiter is coming to recruit you, well, they're not coming to you first. The first place they go is into the registrar's office to see what kind of grades you got.
The chances of becoming a professional athlete are low, but still, so many athletes and children nationwide have the goal of going pro. And if someone beats the odds and has a taste of college and professional football life like Ben Doherty,
football turned out to be something I loved and I still love to this day, and I miss it to this day.
Daddy, put him down. Can you do that to me? Ah!
The time is now. On everything. Took my heart away from money. I ain't interested in fame. And I pray that never change. Ambition is priceless. It's something that's in your veins. And I put that on my name.
Only hope I had was selling. Was on my grind cause times was harder than to sell a float. My mama taught me never steal and never telling folks. I grew up looking up the that was selling. Oh, I was raised by the stop sign. No religion, I was getting saved by the nine. By the minute, I was getting paid like a hotline. Serving rolling, fiends was calling. We was that kind, well connected, well respected and well protected. And get accepted, was rejected, now they regret it. And get my message, wasn't signal when I was texting. The I was calling was fraud and I learned my lesson. Now I move with aggression, use my mind as a weapon. Cause chances are never given, they took them like interceptions. So throw that pass, I be the cornerback. Me and Lauren, MMG gon' bring that Warner back.
Easy to dream a dream, though it's harder to live it.